Welcome back to episode 4, the Rogue solo gameplay. So I left off saying I was going to get a little bit further up in levels off camera. I'm up to level 7 now. I am in a new location. So I was leaving off over at the Gem Spring area from Expirators. I have moved over to here. I've gone to Miraleth. I've picked up some commission boards, so we just got to harvest some items. I did make one of the weapons that we were looking for. So the Wayward Sword, which was one of the recipes that we had pinned, I do have that now. So all we have left is the bow. So I got a little bit of a cough going on. But we do have some resources to gather up here. So basically our current DPS rotation is invisibility, walk up behind. We are gonna backstab, throw knife, lacerate with double lacerate, thump them to silence them, jump over, and then you backstab them again with the empowered. And that's our current DPS rotation. Very good single target. And we can do a different rotation where, again, we start off with advantage in stealth mode. So what we do is we would essentially start off in stealth. Let me see if I can find somebody that I could just showcase it in action. But essentially, yeah, we go in stealth. Anything over here? Oh, yeah, we've got a wolf. So basically, we go in stealth. And instead of hitting the backstab, what we're going to do is we're actually just going to start off with a throwing knife. So we go one empowered and lacerate, which is an AoE, jump over with a second empowered and lacerate. And what that's going to do is the throw is going to bounce to all of our targets. So what we can do is we can go invisible, swap to our bow, and we just kind of range down a group of enemies, bring them together, clump them up, hit the throw. So it bounces to them, hits them with the bleed, and what happens is empowered and lacerate becomes an AoE and a frontal cone. If they're already bleeding, they get hemorrhaging, which is what we're looking for. Hemorrhaging is a 20% bleed damage every half a second, lasting 5 seconds. So it hits 10 times, so basically 200% damage. Really good. Regular bleed is 15% bleed damage, only 6 seconds. And then both of these can actually stack. So let's see if you can essentially view it fast enough. On the guy's HP bar, so there's bleed, hemorrhaging. And now the hemorrhaging has a little 2 next to it because it's hitting it twice. That's what that 160, 170 was. That was the bleed tick that was being produced. So what we're looking for right now are some of these trees. Adult ash is what I'm looking for. I got a little bit, just need some more. We want to fill out these quests because if I click on the Axis for Allies, it gives us some decent XP, 3000 XP, 3000 XP, 3000 XP, 3000 XP. But what they also give are called commission crates, and you can open these up and they give you all different things. So we got free healing cells, we got free rations, we got a commission school of venturing XP, 25% venturing XP. So adventuring XP is the XP for our physical player, is the best way to put that. It's our actual XP bar. That's what this bar down here is. So this only lasts 5 minutes, so it's good, but not good because there's other buffs and scrolls or whatever that lasts for a longer time, but they give less of a percentage. So commission scrolls give 25%, which is really nice if done correctly. So there's a couple, I don't want to say secret things. It's probably better used like if you're solo, like what I'm going through. But basically, when you're crafting, and I'll showcase this in a minute when we go over to the town, but when you're crafting and you queue up stuff and you have it finished and you go to redeem it, the and you collect it, it actually gives you XP for your character and for the skill that you're training. So it gives two kinds of XP. Kind of similar to how when we defeat an enemy, it gives us like regular experience, two-handed sword experience, and longbow experience. It'd be like, oh, you got alchemy experience or weaponsmithing experience or like any kind of experience, and then it would also just say regular experience, which is our adventuring experience. So one of the things you could do is once your towns get built up and they get upgraded, they are able to have multiple slots of the same. No, not the same, but they can all be different. You basically you start off with one slot of crafting, and then as the town and everything gets upgraded, it can move up to 2, and then up to 3. So, and it gets a timer on how long it takes to make it. And the cool thing is you can queue up, a whole bunch of stuff, right? But let's say you're playing during your time frame or whatever when you're able to play, and you gather a bunch of resources. What you can go ahead and do is process all those items, because it's very cheap to process. It costs a couple copper or whatever for the processing materials, like get it started. Like if you were making thread, you need something called drawtine. Yeah, what is it? Drawtine wax, I believe is what it's called. But basically, you got the drawtine wax. You take your snowdrops or your daffodils, and then it takes X amount of time for each one. As far as I know, there is no limit to how much you can craft in a single slot. I have done a slot up to 160, and I got a really hefty piece of XP from it for both respects, for the skill that I was leveling and my actual character. What I didn't do at that time was have a commission scroll to get an extra 25. So some of these crafts, like right now we need 50,000 XP. I've had crafts where it's been like, ooh, here's 7k, and it wasn't even that crazy. And it does seem to scale too based off the quality. So if you're harvesting or processing higher quality resources, it also gives you that increase in XP, just like it would if you gathered it yourself. So we're just going to run over to this town real quick so I can show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. And then the reason why I chose the Mirliff town is we do have pretty decent leveling zone. I can pretty much stay inside Mirliff for like almost all of my time playing from level 20, right? There's like level 10s and stuff up here. We got level 15-ish creatures over here that are 2-3 stars, so they're a lot higher elites. We do have the desert down here, which also has some really good grabs, and then we do have this Tower of Carfin up here, which is a really nice area for leveling also, considering that right now there is a current bug going on, and I don't want to explain it because I don't want people to abuse it, because essentially once you have the bug active, you're able to just go at level 12 to Tower Carfin and farm infinitely. We don't know. Well, it's clearly a break in the policy with Intrepid. Like, they have permanently deleted people's games and accounts from their computers, unable to play this game ever again. They don't deal with it at all. We are in a phase about bug patching and finding bugs and then trying to work on it so they aren't there. Not trying to abuse these bugs. So people are like, oh, well, if that happens, it's their fault. It's kind of how most people's mentalities are going to be. And while that could be the case, it is not the case. Because how can it be their fault when they know the game's in a buggy place, and you bought the game as a tester to find these bugs? And they've clearly stated in previous alpha versions that I've had access to also. We've seen entire groups have characters completely deleted. Like, Intrepid has access to all the background info. They've straight up deleted people's max level character, perfect farms, because when they've done reviews and tests on how they've gone to certain things with bugs or glitches or exploits, they do punish harshly. So I don't want to do that, and I do not want to bring it to light, because we don't need more people trying to do it. Alright, but now that we... pet. Horse. There it is, so... Alright, but now that we are in, I'm gonna run over to the left over here. And what we're going to go through is this highly condensed area. So we got all different kinds of vendors and stuff. There's some inside these houses, and I want to actually showcase you this, because I did not know this the first time I was playing this game. It took me a long time to figure this out. But basically, you can go inside these buildings, and see those little stairs? You can actually go up, and you have different tables set up here, which took me forever to find. I was looking for this table specifically. This is the scribing table. Basically, they have the scrolls I was talking about. So we have the... where is it? Like guild creation scrolls, decoration scrolls, gathering scrolls, adventuring scrolls, processing scrolls, and then stat scrolls, right? So this is like, oh, here's, have some constitution, and lasts for 3 hours. You can only have one scroll buff active, so I can only have one of these active at a time. Constitution, you got dexterity, you got mentality, you got wisdom. And then there are apprentice level ones also, which are stronger, but you need to be level 10 to use them. And I have to be certified apprentice to use them also, so I need to have level 10 scribing, and I need to go talk with a person to get this approved. The enchanting scrolls that I was talking about is right here. Required to enchant gear, the scroll may only be applied to items of equal or lower grade. So basically, this novice scroll, if it's not gonna let me hover over any of it, which is kind of hilarious. Let's see if it shows it in here. If we go to the scribe, type in enchanting scroll, right? Still nothing. Okay, it's just still common. But basically, you have the apprentice ones, you have all these other ones, but these are only good up to certain gear levels. So that novice one may be good for, if we close that, if we hover over this, so it may be good for initiate and adept, or it's only good for initiate gear. So my wayward gear that I have, which is, oh no, my wayward gear is still initiate. Okay, so it would still work there. So maybe when we get adept gear, level 10 and 19 stuff, that novice scroll won't work on it anymore. So what we would need is we would have to go to the apprentice scroll, right? And these are very easy to make. Like, that's literally just 1 ruby, and this is 4 daffodils, 4 snowdrops. And that's pretty much just what it takes to make those. Like, that's all it is, nothing crazy. It gets resource expensive, so now it takes 10 rubies, and you need, what's that? 60 daffodils, 60 snowdrops, so a bit heavier on the flower side, but it gives you the apprentice one. All different kinds of stuff. But now that we're in here, let me showcase what I was talking about. So if we come over here, I have a couple of resources and stuff gathered. But let me tuck this dude real quick. Sell this. Let's sell the glint. And right now, I don't have a specific need or want, so I'm gonna look for this crag shatter salts. I'm just gonna pick up one just to showcase this real quick. The crag shatter salts are used for metalworking. Come in here, we're looking at sand. Right now, all I have is basalt because it's the only thing I'm really looking for to farm. So you can take your basalt and the crag shadow blasts, and you will 100% get sand. But it's kind of buggy. These don't actually display correctly, but there's a chance to get copper, a chance to get zinc, and a chance to get tendonite and coal. These three items, the zinc, copper, zinc, and tendonite, are all used for mineral resources. Copper, so far from what I've seen, is mostly weapons. Zinc seems to be mostly jewelry, and I think tendonite is mostly armor. From what I can gather, right? And like we got more different types over here. We just haven't been able to get to these yet. But tendonite, tendonite fragments, arcane engineering, armor smithing, jeweler, metalworking, weaponsmithing. All right, so it's used in multiple areas. But so we're just gonna toss this up. And we'll do one basalt, right? Hit submit. So for this one basalt, it cost us about 9 copper for the crag salt and 6 copper per piece to process, right? So it takes us 15 copper coins to do this in total. We're gonna hit add. That's gonna take a minute. While waiting on that, I want to come over here. Type in there. I want one more. And I'm going to throw in my blue rare basalt instead. So see how there's a second top? Because this one is now apprentice level. At apprentice it gets 2. At journeyman it actually gets 3. But we're just going to come back in here. Click on basalt again. Hit add. And I want my one blue piece, right? So this is going to show the XP difference. So we're going to let those do its thing. I am going to sell those. I am going to sell the ashwood of all kinds. I'm going to sell those. I'm going to keep the droppings because we are going to have to do some farming later, because one of the things I want to get is the tailoring stuff. And if I type in, like, we have mining gear, right? Or should I type in, what is it, herbalism gear? Right? Here we go, herbalism. So we have the herbalism satchel, but we have a herbalist shirt. So the herbalist shirt gives you speed, which at the current time, gathering speed of any kind isn't working the way it's supposed to be. So it's terrible. But it takes this linen thread, right? This linen thread comes from flax, which comes from farming plots. And you have to make fertilizer, you buy the seeds from an NPC, and you continue going forward. As far as I know, this server doesn't have it yet in Miraleth. I don't know if it has it in Johava, which is usually the other town that would have it, but it doesn't seem like that one has it either. So right now we're just currently waiting on these towns and cities to upgrade, have guilds run some crates, get these things upgraded and bumping. But as you can tell, I do have a boatload of flowers. I got some Riverland essence, which I'm keeping. You see, I'm keeping some of the fertilizers. Have this. Have coarse thread. I have all of these ingredients, timbers, different things like that, because I'm getting ready. Let me slide those up. So you may notice if we come over here and click on these recipe tab, I need 6 more essence. I need about 24 more pieces of timber. And then we're able to make the wayward longbow. So I have a lot of the resources already sitting in here. I'm just waiting on that final step. And I am getting ready to collect all these snowdrops because I want to upgrade my artisan level for processing, which is weaving. Because right now I can make the linen thread, but I need to be able to make bolts. Linen bolts and cotton bolts. Specifically, the most important ones in this apprentice one is going to be the linen. And from what I can tell, it's either the bluebell bolts, the snowdrop bolts, and the daffodil bolts. Which, I mean, it's funny. It's a daffodil thread, daffodil, and processed boards, which takes carpentry. So you would also need apprentice carpentry. Hilarious, right? Everything's needed to make everything. But yeah, so it takes 2 daffodils, because you only need 1 daffodil to make the thread. You need another piece of daffodil, and then it's the same thing with the boards. So you make timber, and then you take the timber and a board, or timber and an oak raw wood again to make a board. So it's the same process. So it's actually 2 pieces of wood, 2 pieces of flowers. That's how you make these bolts. But these are also very important, because if we go back to the tailoring side, and I'm just going to type in mining, because these are the ones I'm looking forward to. So the miner shirt takes linen thread, which is just regular flax. Mining spoils, max health. Alright, nothing crazy. Miner shirt, linen bolts. Gives you mining quality and max mana. Mining quality is really useful, so we want that as early as possible. And this may be some on the auction house, but you know, I don't know exactly how the flax works yet. I haven't dabbled in the farming and how we get different rarities of it. But from what I can tell, that's only 18 pieces of a certain rarity, which shouldn't be that crazy. I have almost 10 blue rubies, and then this would be just 9 of one rarity, which we also want, because mining spoils just increases your chance to get additional rewards. So we all want those. And then by the time we get to Journeyman, we have the Journeyman shirt, which is mining spoils and crit chance. Crit chance is nice, but that's just for combat. Mining spoils is increased chance. We don't want that. We want this quality. Mining quality. Now this funny part is the Journeyman shirts give 93 quality. The apprentice shirts give 54 quality. Takes less resources. So if we can get a nice epic one of these, we're going to be in a better place. It's going to give us max mana, which isn't the best, right? But that quality is going to be nice compared to a Journeyman shirt, which now takes linen prepared yardage and an emerald powder. So it takes a certain degree of mining to even make it, and then a certain degree of tailoring or weaving to make this. And I haven't seen this in here, the yardage. But if I had to guess, yeah, it's the Journeyman one. So we'd have to be level 20 in here, and it takes flax. Again, just flax. All it takes is flax. So that's what we're looking forward to. That's where our current goals are going. And it should be time, so we're going to come over here. And we're going to claim this. 1 crushed basalt common. Oh, we got lucky. We got some copper out of it. So we're going to hit collect. And you see I got 89 metalwork experience and 80 regular experience earned. If I hit claim again on the blue one, it's now 160 regular experience and 179 metalworkers experience. So imagine having 160 of those things in here just from you spending some days gathering, fighting, just collecting resources in general. If it was all common at 88 things, that would be 13,000 XP almost. And if you had that commission scroll to give it a 25% increase, you're looking at 16,000 XP. That'd be almost a quarter of the XP needed to go from 7 to 8. That's only if you did 1. Imagine you did 2 or 3. And like I said, I don't know if there's a limitation to how many you can make in one of these little slots. The highest I was able to get up to was about 160. But yeah, so those are going through. Just opening up the satchels. There it is. I'm just gonna sell this. Don't really want common. We want rares or above. A lot of the green stuff doesn't give a natural increase. But if I come over here, let me show you where I'm getting the commission boards. So you got these boards all over the place. These are commission boards. So you can only have 4 of them active at a time. So I got the Harvest Snowdrops, Harvest Daffodils, Mine Basalts, Harvest Ash. Those are the ones that I'm currently doing. And it's not like, oh, harvest 20 pieces. This is 20 nodes. And that's how you do this. But you get, like I said, you get decent rewards. You get glint, you get resources. Like if I bring... we'll bring this one up. So they got different levels, level 4s and 6s. So they actually do give slightly different XP based on the level that you have. But this will give me 4 glint, dull glint, 1 dim glint, and then 3 of these commission cash, which can give XP booster scrolls, glints, nodes, currencies, raw resources, salves, rations, and then River Stalker armor pieces, which would be cool to have. They're not the best. I did get 1 piece, the River Stalker hood, and then it comes with Fizz defense, Mag defense, mentality, accuracy, so it's not the worst. But this is the thing that we're looking for. Strength and intelligence increased by 15%. If I can get a free 15% on my strength, that is massive. Because my current strength with a 50% increase would go to 396, which is give or take 50 armor, right? Or 50 strength. This weapon gives 60 strength. This current bow gives 34 strength. My armor doesn't really give any near that amount of strength, and that plays a huge role because that 50 strength is actually 150 fizz power. Right? So it goes down here. This goes up by 150. So it's about a quarter of what my Wayward Sword is, the one that we want for level 10 and beyond. So it's definitely worthwhile doing. But I am probably gonna leave it here. I think this is gonna be where my commentary ends for today. I'm gonna record and do a fast forwarding of me gathering all these items and resources, and just condense it, show you a showcase, show you the route that I'm going and everything else. But yeah, till next time, see you later. Alright, welcome back. A little gathering run's done and over with now. So all the commission boards are done. We got a bunch of different resources. We got some greens. We got some heroics. I got some epic fertilizer droplings. Some heroic metals. And we did end up getting 12 commission caches. Once we get to town, I'm going to open those up after we clear out our inventory. Because like I said, sometimes they can give you resources, so we don't want it not giving us the resource if it's our inventory is full. And then all we need is the dropped essence, which we only need 5 of. And then we should be all set to make this bow. And I will probably, depending on how much the essences are on the marketplace, because I am kind of broke, and then I guess it also depends on how much we get from the 12 commission caches, because these can also give you glint and other items. But we'll see how much we get. I'm gonna run in. So now that we're back in town, I guess first things first, let's talk to this vendor. Alright. Coal gone. Glint gone. Gone. Basalt gone. Those, condense those, condense those. That's all staying. Scepter gone. And then let me come over here real quick. These are little carpentry stations. I got ash timber. I need sanding powder. Alright, there's that. I only need 24. So 216 for 24, then that's not bad. Come over here, ash timber, make the 24. 6 silver, it's a bit more expensive. 12 minutes. Stop that job. That should be the last of our timber that we need. And now we can sell the rest of this wood. This place is always buggy for some other reason. So many people sit here at the storage chest. So there's always a little bit of desync. There it goes. Okay. That's that, put that in, put that in. Got some of this. Alright, so that's everything open, everything's in here. Like I said, I only need the 5 essences, which is actually, shouldn't be that bad, but we're gonna open up these chests. Alright, ooh, 10 green flax, so that's really, really amazing. Considering that that was all green, and if it's a 1-to-1 method, flash draw time, so that's 10 linen thread, which we can use to actually make a better novice miner shirt. That's actually really good. Really good. We'll probably do that before we also get off. Stop that. What was that? No idea what that is. Some kind of scrolls. Stoglin. Another commission scrolls of adventuring XP. That's nice. 10 largemouth bass. Another scroll of adventuring XP. Some Doglin. Some more green flax. You're joking. A novice mana self. Some Doglin. Okay. Well, out of that, we ended up getting 20 uncommon flax, which is really good. If I look at the apprentice mine shirts, that's 9 linen bolt, that's 18. This is the one that gives quality, so that'd be able to give us an uncommon apprentice mining shirt. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. What's probably the best way to do this? Say that takes linen, linen, linen. These are all linen. Daffodils, threads. But these all take linen. I guess we need to go out and just try and find flax. I asked in chat when we were gathering around how to get it. Supposedly you just straight up find it in the world, and then we're able to, I guess, grow it here whenever that gets built. Okay. I'll say this NPC doesn't want to spawn in. Do I want this? No. I need these money. I got 14. It's nothing. Hopefully we can get some. Oh, 5 silver. 5 silver. $350. How many do I need? That's great. It's 5. So all we're waiting on is this processed timber, right? 5 minutes. Oh, the desync at these storage crates are crazy. There's so many people sitting on them. What's that? I plan on gathering some more off camera before the next episode. And before I go to bed tonight, I plan on doing a bulk batch to showcase the crafting XP you can get with the things, and we do need our weaving upgraded so we can make the bolts. So I'm also trying to get that to 10. But yep, it's gonna need those two things done. And as you can tell, all I need is the processed timber and the longbow's final touches, and our wayward longbow will be completed. And then once we're done with that, we're gonna have a very nice amount of damage to go and fight some other things. You may be able to catch a snippet of it, but I was running along here looking for stuff, and it came up along here, and it looks like this mountain ridge has some starred bears, and with our new damage ratios, we try and take a gamble at them, see how they are. Longbow's final touches. Boom. Right, just a little bit longer, and that should be all set. But yep, so basically, and then I'm just going to showcase this too. So in the adventuring tab, this bottom star right here says join the party of players. Until you guys say otherwise, I plan on playing this entire thing solo, so this one will never get checked off, will never get completed. So we will never get these. We will get these, but these arcane necklaces and might necklaces, we will not be getting. Don't really have a use for them. I don't know why they're there. Like, this crit chance innovation is way better than those. We are looking to pick up one more earring and a waist at some point also, but just to showcase you the difference. At the end of the last video, I think it was at like 47 fizz power. We're now at about 54.4 with just the wayward sword, and we should be going to 60, a little over 60 with the wayward's longbow after it finishes processing. Alright. Some other things that we're looking forward to, if I can get to this auction house. There is a thing called, I think it's Void Vein. Give me a sec. Go back into the professions. Gathering, mining, it's not going to show up there. Is it weaponsmithing? Okay, yep, so it's Void. This is one of the ones that we plan on looking forward to getting. Oak boards, brass ingots, soul weapon mode. So the brass ingots are made with the copper and zinc. So to make ingots, you have to first refine the copper and the zinc, and they turn into the respective fragments. You can make, I don't even think you can make zinc ingots. Maybe you can, but I know you can make copper ingots, which then takes copper ore again and the copper fragments. To make the brass ingots, it takes copper fragments and zinc fragments. So that's one of the things. But this is a apprentice level mining pickaxe. The unique thing about it is that it's initiate, so you only have to be 139 to use it, which is hilarious. 191 mining quality and mining spoils, so this is a very good pickaxe. Very good. And if I, now that I know the correct name, if I type in Void in here, Void, not Coid. Void break mining pickaxe. Like that. Going for 5 gold. Yeah, and he's the only one so far. But we plan on getting that, and then there's think it's Crescent Moon. Yeah, the Twilight Crescent. So we want this also. This is herbal quality. These are only 50, so this is actually really, really cheap. It looks like they were just pumping these guys out. But we want this also. Get better flax, get better daffodils, get better threads, which just boosts us up again. So we want these also. This might be the first one I get, considering that it's only 50 silver, and it does take apprentice level herbalism, which, if we come back over to the professions, we're 6 mining, so we're almost at 10. Herbalism's at 5, almost there. I may pop a gathering scroll later and just go out and try to harvest a bunch of stuff. We still need to find flax, all that fun stuff, right? Boom, bunch of lumber. But if we go into social real quick, you can tell, look at that, 2,000 XP just from picking it up, which is beautiful. And we did complete one of our processing nodes, gonna claim that. Some free glint, always nice. That's that. So then we're gonna come in here, talk to this weapon station. Oh, is it not him? Where do we make it? Is it the carpentry station? It may be this carpentry station. Yep, carpentry station. Okay, the wayward longbow that we've been looking forward to. And then 55 the craft. Beautiful. Alright, so inventory's all cleared out. Just to showcase you, 345 strength. Physical power is only 54. We'll go to equip this. Boom, 64. Another 10 points. So from the last episode to this episode, we've gone from 47 to 64 almost in physical power. This is glorious. Glorious damage. So that's always a good thing. Sell this back to the shop. But yeah, so I'm gonna go pretty much do some leveling of the gathering professions. Like we both want mining and herbalism level 10. So I'm gonna go try and get those to 10. Supposedly there's still flax out in this world, so I need to go find some flax, get that going, make a bunch of that, because we want to be able to craft the mining stuff. Like this mining shirt, giving us spoils is nice. The mining shirt with the quality is nice. And we can currently get this as green. But like I said, green doesn't get that big of a boost. If we can get this at a blue, even a... Like this is only 9 linen bolt. That's only 18 pieces. That's very, very low. I've gotten plenty of blue stuff over the course of the game. It takes a couple hours, nothing crazy. The hardest thing right now is going to be trying to find the slacks. But getting this as a blue, give us a nice bump in mining quality, nice bump in maximum mana. And you would be like, oh, why am I going for that and stuff? Well, because we can always go back and remake these weapons at higher quality. Like, we don't want to neglect the profession side of the game, because these are massive. And like I said, there's a couple things that I want to go into that just currently aren't out yet, which is kind of hilarious. Like this cooking. I haven't seen a cooking station yet. But, you know, lettuce and cooking oil makes you fresh salad. 155 fizz power. That's not bad, right? Not bad at all. But that's also as a common, not uncommon, rare, heroic, epic, nothing like that. There is different kinds of meat. So we're going to do animal huntings. So maybe if we get lucky with the bears, we may be able to get some of these. But if we go down, like we got large bass sashimi salad, fizz speed, so it makes you attack faster. this agave syrup is also apparently really useful, which agave is only found in the desert, which is to the south of Miraleth. So we're set up to go do a bunch of different things. Roasted chicken, Madge power, right? Beefsteak sandwich, these ones are really useful. Grilled beef steaks, bread, 455 fizz power, 607 max health, right? People, you may be like, oh, why not just use the grilled beef steak? Well, we definitely could. Grilled steak. So it's beef, alien spice, and butter. So as far as I know, the beef comes from the cows, which is a farming animal. Like, you just have to, you buy a cow, you make it, and I think you can turn the cow into butter or into beef, or it gives you butter as a side product, like the cow's milk. So it may give you a bit of both. But, you know, a little bit of those. And then the alien spice, or island spice, is this stuff: daffodil, snowdrop, and pepper. Pepper you buy, daffodil, snowdrop, which we already need. So we just need a bunch of alien spice. Again, different qualities, different benefits. But imagine having the physical power that comes with this. 607, that's almost as strong as our weapons currently. Not counting if it goes green or blue. But the thing is when you make it, it makes you 5. And these last an hour. So these are really good stuff. And like, there's all different kinds of stuff that you can get. There's, where is it? One of them gives lifesteal. Ooh, like that. 303 bleed damage. I don't even know how that works. Roasted raven meat. So that's killing the birds. That may be good. Skinwalker, grilled skinwalker. Yeah, grilled skinwalkers. So these skinwalkers only spawn at night. You need apprentice level hunting. So you need hunting to be apprentice. But, you know, that's like the same effect. And then 607 lifesteal. Don't know how that lifesteal affects, but as a solo player, lifesteal may be really important to us. And we may want to get a lot of our fizz power from weapons and scrolls and everything else, and use the grilled skinwalker meat for lifesteal to keep us up. Like, I don't know what 607 even means, but let's see if we can find it in the physical tree. Nothing. Come down here. Crit chance. Lifesteal right here. You have damaging abilities have a 25% chance to heal you for percentage equal to your lifesteal stat of the damage done. Alright. So it's a guaranteed 25% chance that every point of damage I deal heals me equal to percentage of my lifesteal stat. So 607, who knows? Maybe it's only 60 health a thing. But it's, otherwise we don't normally have in combat healing, so that could be really useful too. But maybe we find out that it's just not worthwhile and we want to go the full damage, get the fizz food going. But to enough time, we are getting to the point where we want to start branching out to multiple different sides, different gatherings, leveling up. We do want to get to level 10 sooner than later, that way I can start selling things on the auction, the marketplace. Currently can't sell because I'm not level 10. Yeah, it must be level 10 to list items. But do that gives us some pretty decent gold income, especially with some of the things that we can get. Like people, like the flags that we just got, people will be buying that up like crazy if we could get it to the auction house. But all different kinds of stuff. Alright. Until next time, later.